When the grid dies, the world turns into a predatory ocean of shadows. Are you a beacon or a ghost? Warning, in a total blackout, a single lit match can be seen for miles. Don't be a target. Welcome to Section 1. The light signature. Most people think they're hidden behind curtains. Newsflash, curtains bleed light like a wounded artery. Looters aren't blind. They're looking for you. Science time. Photons don't stop. In a dark environment, the human eye becomes 100,000 times more sensitive. Your dim reading lamp is a supernova to someone with adjusted night vision. The light bleed mistake is fatal. Even a pinprick hole in your window tape is a laser beam pointing straight to your supplies. You need a 100% light-tight seal. Plywood is your best friend now. Dark humor reality. You'll spend hours sealing windows only to forget the gap under the front door. Nothing says, rob me, like a golden bar of light shining onto your porch at midnight. DIY hack. Use heavy-duty black trash bags and duct tape. 2 layers minimum. If you can see your hand in front of your face with the lights on, the bad guys can see you from the street. Red light is your only tactical option. It doesn't destroy your rhodopsin. That's the protein your eyes use to see in the dark. White light makes you blind the second you turn it off. Status LEDs are the silent snitches of the apocalypse. That little red standby light on your TV or the green light on your power bank? They scream, I have electricity, to the neighborhood. Duct tape every single LED in your house. Every single one. If it glows, it goes. In the dark, a router's blinking light is a disco ball for scavengers. No parties allowed. Phones are the worst offenders. The Vado brightness will betray you. One text message notification and your face is lit up like a horror movie villain. Keep it face down or buried. Reflective surfaces are secondary beacons. Mirrors, glass picture frames, and even shiny pots catch stray light and bounce it toward windows. Cover them or turn them around. Candle placement 101. Never put a light source above the windowsill line. Keep all flames on the floor shielded by furniture. You want the light to pool, not to travel. Dark humor. You'll feel like a Victorian orphan huddling over a single candle. But at least Victorian orphans weren't usually hunted by gangs for their canned peaches. The chimney glow. If you're burning wood, the sparks and internal light can reflect up the flue. In a blackout, a sparking chimney is a literal signal fire for anyone on a hill. Cooking light is a massive risk. The blue flame of a camping stove is incredibly distinct. Cook in an internal room with no windows or use a light box shield. Topography is your cloak. If you live in a valley, your light travels up. If you're on a hill, it travels everywhere. Know your view shed, the area that can see your house. Tactical darkness is about contrast. If the whole block is dark and your house has a soft glow, you are the target. Be darker than your neighbors. It's a race to the bottom. Decoy lights are an advanced move. Place a small, battery-operated light in an abandoned house down the street. Let the looters kick that door down while you sit in silence. Science fact. Night vision takes 30 minutes to fully develop. 1 second of white light ruins it instantly. If you break light discipline, you're blind for the next half hour. External security lights? Cut the wires or unscrew the bulbs. Motion sensors. Just tell everyone where you are and illuminate your face for their target practice. The glow box hack. If you must read or work, do it under a heavy wool blanket. It traps the light and the heat. It's hot, itchy, and miserable. Welcome to the new world. Flashlight hygiene. Never shine a light at eye level. Use a low lumen setting and point it at your feet. The bounce back is enough to see without creating a beam. Dark humor. You'll start to hate the moon. A full moon is a looter's sun. It provides enough ambient light for people to navigate your yard without needing their own. Light is the first layer of the invisible veil. If they can't see you, they might pass you by. But light isn't the only thing you're leaking into the cold, dead air. Are you ready for Section 2? Because even if you're perfectly dark, your body is still screaming in a language you can't hear. Infrared. Let's talk about the heat shadow. You are a glowing furnace in a cold world. Even in total darkness, you radiate energy. Section 2, the heat shadow. We are talking about infrared survival in a high-tech blackout. Thermal cameras see heat, not light. To a FLIR sensor, your warm house looks like a neon sign against the frozen neighborhood. You aren't hidden. You're just a different color. Post-apocalyptic science. Infrared radiation travels through glass easily. Your windows are thermal holes in your armor. Even if they're blacked out, the heat pours through them. The warm room mistake. You heat one room to stay cozy, but the external wall becomes a hotspot. To a drone, that wall is a target. You need to insulate the inside of the wall. DIY hack: Mylar blankets. These space blankets reflect 90% of radiant heat back to you. Line your hide room walls with them to keep your heat from soaking into the structure. Warning: Mylar is a double-edged sword. It traps heat, but it's also incredibly crinkly and loud. One move and you sound like a giant bag of potato chips being crushed by a tank. Thermal inertia is your friend. Basements are naturally insulated by the earth. The ground acts as a massive thermal heat sink, absorbing your signature before it hits the air. Dark humor reality. You'll be living like a mole person, but at least mole people don't get spotted by thermal drones. Enjoy the damp smell. It's the scent of invisibility. Ventilation is the snitch. If you use a wood stove, the plume of hot air rising from your chimney is a thermal lighthouse. It can be seen from miles away by even basic sensors. To mask a chimney, you need a diffuser. Break up the hot air stream by venting it through a pile of stones or underground before it exits. Cool the air before it meets the sky. Cooking heat is a beacon. A propane burner is a concentrated dot of $1,000 circ C. If you must cook, do it deep inside the house, away from any exterior walls or vents.
Body heat adds up.
4 people in a small room create as much heat as a small space heater. This biosignature is unmistakable to anyone looking for life in a dead city. The thermal decoy move. Set up a small, slow-burning fire in a metal barrel 50 yards away from your house. Give the drones a hot target to watch while you stay cold. Solar gain is a daytime giveaway. If you leave your blacked-out windows exposed to the sun, the glass heats up. At night, that glass stays warm long after the sun goes down. DIY hack. Place a layer of foam insulation board between your Mylar and the window. This creates a thermal break so the heat doesn't transfer to the outside surface. Electronic heat is real. A laptop or a large battery bank generates a distinct heat signature. In a silent blackout, even the warmth of a charging phone can be detected. Dark humor. You'll be so cold you'll start envying the dead. But remember, a cold body is a hidden body. Hypothermia is just nature's way of telling you you're doing great. Rain and fog are your best friends for thermal stealth. Water in the air scatters infrared light, making it much harder for sensors to get a clear lock on your heat signature. Thermal contrast is the killer. If your house is $20 circ C dollar and the outside is $0 circ C dollar, you stand out. If you keep your house at $5 circ C, you blend into the background noise. Animals are thermal chaos. If you have livestock or large pets, their signatures can help mask yours. A barn full of goats is a messy, confusing blob of heat to a scanner. The empty house look. Keep the front of your house as cold as the street. Retreat to the innermost rooms. Use the rest of the house as a giant thermal buffer zone. Watch your breath. On a cold night, the hot air from your lungs creates a breath plume that thermal optics can see from 50 feet away. Breathe through a scarf to diffuse it. Science fact: glass is opaque to long-wave infrared, but windows are rarely perfectly sealed. Heat leaks through the frame. Use caulk to seal every thermal gap. You are now a ghost in the infrared spectrum. But hiding your light and your heat is only half the battle. Because the blackout has ears and they are listening for you. Are you ready for section 3? Because even if you're a cold shadow, a single clink of a spoon can end your story. Let's master the art of acoustic camouflage. Section 3. Acoustic camouflage. When the grid hum stops, the silence becomes a magnifying glass. In a dead city, a single closing door sounds like a thunderclap. Don't be the thunder. Without the white noise of cars and AC units, your background noise is 0. Sound now travels 3 to 4 times further. You're living inside a giant, empty drum. Don't be the beat. Metal on metal is the most distinct human sound. Dropping a wrench or clinking a spoon is a high-frequency flare. Wrap your gear in electrical tape or cloth to kill the chime. Voice discipline is mandatory. Whispering is a mistake. The sibilant S sounds carry through walls. Use low-frequency chest voices, or better yet, learn basic tactical hand signals. Dark humor. You'll finally understand why your parents told you to stop slamming the fridge. Except now, the grounding for slamming a door is a home invasion. Soft touch is life. DIY hack. Soft paths. Line your main walking routes with rugs, blankets, or even cardboard. Hardwood floors are squeaky snitches that want you dead. Muffle the floor, muffle your life. Squeaky hinges are tactical liabilities. Use cooking oil, lard, or even bar soap to lubricate every door in your house. A silent door is a door that doesn't invite unwanted guests. Footwear matters. Heavy boots are for the woods. Inside your blackout fort, wear thick socks or soft-soled slippers. You want the footfall of a cat, not a construction worker. Post-apocalyptic science. Sound shadows. Sound waves don't like corners. Stay in the center of your house. Use the buffer rooms to absorb internal noise before it hits the street. The Velcro rip. Tactical gear is covered in it. In a silent house, pulling a Velcro flap sounds like a chainsaw. Replace it with buttons or silent toggles before the grid drops. Dark humor. You'll learn to hate your own stomach. A loud growl in a silent room feels like a betrayal. Feed the beast before you go on stealth mode for the long, quiet night. DIY hack. Acoustic curtains. Hanging heavy, damp blankets over doors and windows doesn't just block light, it eats sound. It turns your room into a recording studio for survival. Generator noise is a death sentence. If you have one, you might as well play a trumpet. Unless you build a baffle box, a ventilated soundproof crate to kill the engine roar. Coughing and sneezing are unavoidable. Keep a pillow or a thick wad of cloth nearby. If you feel a sneeze coming, bury your face in the muffler to kill the decibels instantly. The white noise decoy. If you have a small battery, run a tiny low-power fan. The consistent hum masks your random clicks and bumps, making you disappear into the static. Watch your breathing. Panic makes you heavy-breathed. Box breathing 4 seconds in, 4 hold. 4 out keeps your lungs silent and your mind from spiraling into a noise-making frenzy. Window glass vibrates. If you're talking near glass, your voice can be picked up by laser mics or just a sharp ear. Stay at least 5 feet back from all exterior glass windows. Dark humor. Your dog is now a tactical hazard. Every time the mailman who doesn't exist anymore walks by, Fido will bark your coordinates to the world. Train him to be quiet. Science fact. Cold air is denser and carries sound further and clearer than warm air. A winter blackout is the loudest environment you'll ever live in. Every snap is a gunshot. Staircases are the enemy. Most have memory creaks. Identify the loud steps now and mark them, with a small piece of tape so you don't step on them in the dark of night. Toilet flushing. In a quiet apartment building, that's a 70 decibel announcement that someone is home. If the water is off, follow the mellow yellow rule to save the sound. DIY hack. Tennis ball feet. Put cut tennis balls on the feet of chairs and tables. Sliding a chair across a floor shouldn't sound like a tectonic plate shifting. Communication. Use a dog whistle or a very low-frequency clicker for all clears. High-pitched sounds are easily ignored as nature, while voices are always flagged as human. You are now a silent shadow. But even if they can't see you or hear you, there is one more scent you're leaving behind. The invisible scent of your digital presence. Are you ready for Section 4? Because in a blackout, your smart devices are actually the dumbest things you own. Let's talk about radio silence and electronic ghosting. Welcome to Section 4, Electronic Ghosting. You've hidden your light, your heat, and your noise. But in the 21st century, you're still screaming, "I'm here," in a language of radio waves. Your phone is a snitch. Even in airplane mode, many devices still ping for Bluetooth or location services. In a blackout, these pings are the only signals in the air. You're a lighthouse. Post-apocalyptic science, RF radio frequency scanners are cheap and portable. If someone wants to find active houses, they don't look for lights. They look for a 2.4 gigahertz signal. The smart home trap, your smart locks, thermostats, and speakers are all trying to reconnect to a dead router. They are desperate ghosts calling out into the dark. Shut them down. Dark humor reality. You'll be hiding from a warlord, but you'll get caught because your smart fridge is trying to tell the cloud that you're out of milk. Modernity is a trap. DIY hack. The Faraday cage. A simple metal box like a cookie tin or a microwave blocks all signals. If you aren't using your electronics, put them in the box. Kill the signal, save your life. Battery management is tactical. Charging a phone creates heat and a magnetic field. Only charge during the day when ambient electronic noise might be slightly higher from solar activity. Your car's key fob is always talking. It's waiting for you to get close. Put your keys in a foil-lined pouch. Don't let your car tell the street that its owner is hiding nearby. Ghosting means zero output. If you must use a radio to listen for news, use headphones. The internal speaker of a radio is a magnet that can be detected by specialized gear. The digital footprint includes your watch. Smartwatches are tiny beacons on your wrist. Switch to a mechanical watch. It doesn't ping, it just ticks. And it doesn't need a charger. Dark humor. You'll miss your followers. But remember, the only likes you want in a blackout are the ones from people who don't know where you live. Stay unpopular. DIY hack. Foil-lined curtains. If you can't Faraday cage your whole room, line your window coverings with aluminum foil. It blocks light and dampens outgoing RF signals. Static electricity is a signal. In dry weather, moving around in synthetic clothes creates a field. Wear natural fibers like cotton or wool to keep your electronic aura quiet. Flashlights with tactical chips or Bluetooth features are useless. You want a dumb light, a simple circuit with a physical switch. No software, no pings, no problems. The last location problem. Your phone remembers where it was. If it's taken, your home is saved in the GPS. Wipe your home and work addresses before the power goes for good. Science fact. A Faraday bag must be perfectly sealed. A 1mm gap can let out a 2.4 GHz signal. Fold the top of your foil pouches 3 times. Precision is the difference between life and death. Laptops are RF monsters. Even with Wi-Fi off, the internal motherboard emits a hum. If you're writing your apocalypse journal, do it on paper. Paper doesn't have a MAC address. Dark humor. You'll find out how much you actually like your own thoughts when you can't scroll through cat videos. It's okay to be bored. Bored people are usually the ones who are still alive. The smart meter on your house is still there. It might have a backup battery. If it's still pinging the mesh network, it's telling the world your house is active. Cover it with a metal bucket. Electronic ghosting isn't just about devices. It's about habits. Stop checking your phone every 5 minutes. The blue light ruins your night vision and the signal ruins your stealth. DIY hack. If you must use a walkie-talkie, use a directional antenna. It points your signal in one specific line instead of broadcasting it in a giant circle for everyone to hear. The radio shadow. If you are communicating, do it from the lowest point of your property or from behind a thick concrete wall. Use the terrain to block your own signal. Bluetooth headphones are beacons for Stingray devices. If you want to listen to music, use the old-school wires. They don't broadcast, they just vibrate. You are now digitally invisible. No light, no heat, no sound, and no signal. You are a true ghost. But there is one final test. The test of the human scent. Are you ready for Section 5? Because the last way they'll find you isn't with a camera or a scanner. It's with their nose. Let's talk about odor management and the scent trail. Welcome to the final frontier. Section 5. You're dark, cold, silent, and digitally dead. But a hungry human can smell a hot meal from blocks away. It's time to talk about odor management. In a blackout, the city's smell changes. The exhaust and smog vanish, leaving a vacuum. Suddenly, the scent of a wood fire or frying meat is like a flare in the middle of a library. The bacon beacon is real. High-fat, high-aroma foods are tactical suicide. If you're cooking something that smells delicious, you're basically inviting the whole neighborhood to dinner. Post-apocalyptic science. Olfactory habituation means you won't smell your own house. But a stranger whose nose has been sharpened by hunger will pick up your human scent instantly. DIY hack. The charcoal filter. If you must cook, do it near a DIY-activated carbon filter. It's the only way to scrub the air before it leaks out of your vents and betrays you. Hygiene is a trap. That fresh spring-scented soap or Arctic Blast deodorant is a chemical flag. It says, this person has clean water and supplies. Smelling like a human is safer. Dark humor reality. You'll miss your cologne, but in the end, smelling like a wet dog and old socks is the best camouflage you can wear. It's the scent of nothing worth taking. Waste management is the biggest hurdle. If you're using a bucket system, the ammonia buildup will eventually leak through the walls. You need a dedicated sealed poop vault. Trash is a snitch. Decaying food scraps produce methane and odors that seep out of cracks. Double bag everything and store it in the most airtight part of the house, not outside. The wind check. Before you open a window or vent the house, check the wind direction. You want your scent blowing toward an empty field, not toward the local looter camp. Laundry is a liability. Wet clothes have a distinct laundry smell that carries far in the damp night air. Dry your clothes in the center of the house, away from any airflow. Tactical gardening. Plant strong-smelling herbs like rosemary, mint, or lavender near your vents. They act as natural scent masks that confuse the nose of anyone passing by. Dark humor. You'll finally have a reason to stop cleaning. A layer of dust and stale air makes a house look abandoned. A lemon-fresh hallway is a dead giveaway of life. Chemical odors are beacons. Opening a bottle of bleach or gasoline creates a scent spike that can be detected from 100 feet. Use these only in the dead of night or when it's raining. Mouth hygiene. Bad breath is a real problem in close quarters, but minty fresh breath can be smelled by someone standing near your door. Use flavorless baking soda instead. The stagnant air danger. If your house doesn't breathe, the scent of human builds up. When you finally open the door, a scent bomb explodes into the street. Vent slowly. Smoking is a death sentence. Tobacco smoke is one of the most recognizable and travel-ready scents on Earth. If you must smoke, do it under a blanket or not at all. Science fact. Rain washes the air of scent particles. If you need to perform high-odor tasks like butchering or deep cleaning, do it during a heavy downpour. Pet waste is a location marker. If you have a cat or dog, their waste must be managed as strictly as your own. Bury it deep and cover it with lye or wood ash to kill the odor. The decoy scent. Leave a rotting piece of meat in a trash can 3 houses away. Create a distraction for any dogs or scavengers using their noses to find a target. Firewood choice. Hardwoods like oak or maple produce less sweet smoke than pine. Pine smells like a campfire. Oak smells like a chimney. Choose the less inviting smell. Your scent profile is the final layer of your invisibility. If they can't see, hear, or scan you, their nose is the last thing that will betray your location to the world. Congratulations, survivor. You've mastered the 4 pillars: light, heat, sound, and scent. Your house is now a black hole in the middle of a dying world. Stay inside. But remember, the hardest part isn't hiding from them. It's hiding from the urge to give up. The blackout is a test of patience as much as it is a test of gear. So tell me, which of these 4 leaks is your biggest weakness? The light, the sound, or is it that bacon in the fridge? Stay hidden, stay silent, and I'll see you when the lights come back on.